So I know some of you guys are like really energetic these days, soon after O levels, to get a grasp of idea what A level is all about, right? Some of you already have an idea, and some of you all have no idea what to do, and some of you all are just going with the flow. So let me say about A level a bit. For example, in your scholarships, parents and teachers push you, so they really want good names for them. And so in O levels, parents and teachers push you because they want you to achieve the best and give a good name for your school and stuff. But when it comes to A levels, the scope here is a bit completely different. Okay, so most of the schools, I mean, like maybe 90% of the schools, the teachers don't actually push you or spoon feed you anymore. They just teach you. Sometimes don't do that as well also, and after that you are actually on your own. So stepping into an A level is actually a big step. uh, Parents also see O level as a big achievement and think A level is easy, so they also kind of not push you much, as I can remember. So most parents also don't care what you do when you're in A levels, so it is kind of all about you. All in all, A level is something all about you. It's your hard work and it's your dedication entirely. So I'm not going to go much into that. Let's go for a comparison between the O level and A level life. Okay. Uh, listen, let me clarify first itself. There is absolutely no any relationship between your O level and A level. Okay. I can bring up many comparisons. Like, hold on, something is in my chat. Yeah, okay, I'll see my chats later. So what I was saying was there was no any relationship between OLs and ALs. Okay, like for example, let me say results. Even I know your OL results are not released yet, but some of you already have an idea, right? So what I meant by that is always select the stream of your passion. Okay, as I will be talking for biological stream, I can strongly and confidently say that no matter what your OL results are, as long as you pass and get the minimum requirements, I think it's a C for science. And if you really love to do biology, just do it. It's simple as that. Get rid of these talks like only 9A people can do biology and only those who are supreme talented can do biology. There's nothing like that. Me, if you take personally, I don't have 9As, but still, I think I did pretty well. I know many people who got 9As and still couldn't do. And I know some people who have got even very low results, like 4As and 3As, but still are doing medicine with me, along with me in my same batch. So there, you can't compare your O-level results and what you're thinking about A-level. So that is one. And another comparison I can bring about, am I too fast? Yeah. So another comparison I can bring about is some of you guys are thinking O level is I did 9 subjects in just a year. A level is just 3 subjects in what is it, 2.5 years or something, 2 years, 6 months. It's not going to be that hard, right? Well, I'm not meaning to scare you, but if you actually thought that way, that means you are digging your own grave. The amount of work you must put in O level must be multiplied by at least, I don't know, 10 or 20 times for your A levels. A levels is pretty much a bigger scope. Okay, so that's another thing. And what else can I bring about A level versus O level? Oh yeah, the classes. So A level classes pretty much starts like, I think some of you all are almost going. Pretty much starts like 2 weeks after your O level exams. My advice I can give you is don't wait till your O level results come out to decide on what field you are going to select. And if you wait so long, then you will be following the school timetable. There'll be delays and stuff. Just decide on your field now. If you're doing biology, just do it confidently. You have no barriers to stop you and stuff. Because if you wait till your results come, you're wasted 7 to 8 months. And time is money. So go for a few classes, adapt to them. Stop going to classes you don't like, and set a proper timetable. Don't go for 2 classes per subject. You will really need that time to study and everything. And never, don't completely depend on school. Me personally, A level, ordinary level school, O level school is very important, going to school. But A level, as I can feel it, you can get exam practices from school and doubt clearings and practicals. But the theory wise, I'm not 100% sure about every school. 90% of the schools, I'm pretty sure they don't do a proper job in pushing you. So uh, regarding that, if you love to do bio, again, I'm repeating, do it with confidence, no matter how you performed in your O level. You can trust me, once you enter A level, around 4 to 5 months, when you get slowly into the flow, you will see that there's no difference between a 9A student and a 4A student. You will both will be almost struggling to do the same. stuff. Okay, so finally, no similarity between O level and A level. Okay, yeah. The next thing I can say is there's a very huge misconception around the society itself. Biology is not all about only becoming doctor. Like society has fed you more and more stuff. Like when you get 9 A's, you do biology, you become a doctor. There's nothing like that. There's a lot of, I mean, like I think around 36 fields in the UGC. So biology doesn't mean only you're going to become doctor. I personally, when I was in your place, I didn't choose biology to become a doctor. I chose biology because I liked it compared to the other fields. And later I chose MBBS. Okay. Some of my friends, even I know one of close friend of mine, he got 3 A's at the end for biology, and still he didn't select medicine. He selected molecular biology back because that's his passion. So there are a lot of fields you can follow soon after A levels, but I'm not going to go to that side. It's mostly about O levels, right? So do bio if you really like it, if you have the passion. It's not only becoming about becoming a doctor. There are so many fields. I will show you them in the next slide. Okay. Uh, hold on. Okay. So here you have the UGC courses they have offered. Okay. Uh, these are the courses provided by universities across the island, and I can guarantee you will obviously get to enter your university life as long as you pass your A-levels, because these are numerous fields. Okay, I'm showing you a lot of fields. I mean, obviously, you should aim higher, not just simple passes, because we need doctors for our society and all. But what I'm trying to say is, bio is not only doctor, So these fields are just amazing too. Like you can follow your passion here too and get to experience higher education at numerous universities like Peradeni, Jardinpura, Kalambu, Ruhuna, and there's a lot, okay? The list goes on. Like each of these fields are like personally, even me, if you take, I love fields like MLS, radiology, and molecular biology, but there's only one field you can follow, right? So you can see dental surgery, and all these are really interesting fields. Even biological science, you can see here on the 11th. Those are really interesting, and it's actually very highly demanded in the job market right now in Sri Lanka as well as foreign. You can see there's another list itself, nursing, pharmacy, and this one is just amazing as it is, medical laboratory sciences. That was my favorite field. And there is a lot. So you have to get rid of this mindset that there's only medicine. There is a lot. I'm repeating over and over again. Okay. You have environmental conservation management. If you want to go to the environmental side, some people will get interested in molecular biology and microbiology. So we have courses for that too. And you can see here optometry, that's also a very good field. Medical imaging technology, there's just a lot. There's just a lot you can do by selecting biology. So if you really like it, just do it. It's simple as that. uh, I think we are running a bit low on time. Yeah, so next up I can say before I wrap it up, so if you're selecting biology, first love that field, have your own passion for it, because only if you love something will you give your full effort for it. And like example, when I didn't like chemistry much, so I was bad at it, simple as that. I loved physics, so I was good at physics. So each subject wise, Zaidin sister will explain. I'm just giving you an overall idea, and you know pushing you from your A level step itself, sorry, oral. uh, like I mentioned before, you get what you give, and you must give your 100% always. It's not complex. Everyone also tells you that it is really, really complex, and all biology and mathematics is really complex. It's not complex at all. It's not rocket science level complex, but do not take it lightly as well. You know, make a self timetable, work like a clock, manage your extracurricular activities and sports. There are a lot of extracurricular activities. Like I did a lot of sports during my A levels also, and you have to manage it yourself. There are some sacrifices you have to do compared to the other streams. Uh, and yeah, do some. I prefer smart work over hard work actually. Like I don't study much for hours and hours a day, but still I get work done. Simple as that. Like doing just two questions by dragging it for around 3 or 4 hours is much better than doing the same two questions in just 10 minutes and studying more for the rest, right? So yeah, so this stuff you will get into the flow like in around 2 or 3 months. You will get into it. Oh yeah, yeah. I will show it to you, Nuha. Sure. Yeah. So what I was saying, yeah, you have to work like a clock. There's a discipline, and you must, motivation isn't real. Okay, I can say that it just stays for around few seconds to minutes, but discipline is real. You should discipline your own self to work hard, work for a goal, uh, because biological field is not that hard, but the stakes are high. You should work hard, real hard, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'll have to wrap it up, and before that, I'll just show it the slides. Mariam Rizvi, about mathematics field, you will be having in the next few sessions. Okay, soon after biological, I think they'll be talking about mathematics, so you can send your doubts into that. And for Noha, here you can have this. Noha, you can take a screenshot of this. Okay, I think that is fine, Noha. And yes, can we do math instead of physics for the bio stream? Yeah, the subjects for biology stream is just right after this. Zarin sister will be taking over. So until now, regarding this, any doubts, you can send it to me, and I will be, forward handing over to Zarin sister. Regarding the subjects, IFA service, Zarin sister will be talking to you. I think I don't have any related doubts. If anyone is sending, just send it. I can reply later. So yeah, I'll wrap it up from here. Thank you, and I'll be handing over to Zainul sister.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Yeah. So first, I'll be talking about give a broad overview for the biological science. So most of the main points were covered by Inam, and I'll be talking about the subjects mostly. So about biological science, why we chose biological science is because maybe you all have a childhood dream to become a doctor, right? So most of us have a dream to become a doctor because that is how our society is framed. So therefore, we all think it is a reputed job, and we all think it gives us good income. So we all want to be doctors. But as Inam said, biological science is not all about becoming a doctor. It's more than that. That is why you have different varieties of subject even under biological stream, just not only biology, physics, and chemistry. Sometimes you'll be studying physics and studying about something like an engine or like a motion and everything. So you will be thinking, what am I going to do with this after becoming a doctor? It is because there are many courses offered to you after finishing your A levels related to your according to your results. But if you have a dream, to become a doctor, if your childhood dream or your parents' dream or whatever the circumstances that put you to choose biology to become a doctor, then the first thing is hard work. Hard work in the sense, not 24 hours of studying a little bit smart. Okay, you have to be very smart when choosing your study methods. Don't go behind all the videos you will see in the YouTube. Just adapt to what you prefer. Okay, that is the first thing you have to know, and I'll be talking a little bit further about that later also. It's about the requirements. Now, there is a difference of opinions in schools. It's like some schools might require a lot of good results from your O levels, but then it depends on the school, right? So but there's a common thing, like there should be 6 passes, okay, including C in science. That means a credit pass in science is like some school really expect that. And also you have to pass maths, Tamil, Tamil or whatever your first language, Tamil or Sinhala, and then English. You have to pass these subjects. This is the requirement of some schools. You can also sit for the exams by being a private candidate. So that depends on you. That is all depend on you. But as Inam said, A level is not related to O level. Just remember that. You can play throughout the year when you were doing O levels and still get an A very easily, but not in A levels. Remember that. Please don't underestimate A level. A level is hard, obviously hard. Okay, but then if you plan your day, if you work accordingly, and you know your boundaries and limits, and you are very disciplined in your studies, along with the fun things you have, then obviously you can get into the highest Z-score thing, that is the medicine. Okay, even if you are interested in other subjects which is lower than the medicine, which has Z-score lower than the medicine, then you can choose whatever you want. And then about school and classes, school plus class both are important. Class will cover all the syllabus and they will teach you the very important exam points and so on. School will have all the practical. Just remember that school will have, they only have the facilities to aid you to do the practical. So it is better to be in touch with the school so that you can do all the chemistry practicals and you can remember the colors and so on. Okay, and also you might think the syllabus is very vast. The biological stream syllabus is very vast. So you can think the time is very less. You have only 2.5 years, right? You might think why? It's because A-level trains you to make correct decision within a limited time. That is the whole point of this less time and vast syllabus. Now let's imagine you are being a doctor and you are a surgeon, or let's say a very big position person. Then you are in a theater and you have to choose what you are going to do in a very limited time. So this is where you are being trained, and also in uni also you will be trained. But this is the reason for why you have a syllabus which is very vast and you have very less time. But still you have 3 times to go through everything. 3 years to try if you can't in the first time. Okay, now we will look at the subjects. About the subjects, you can see in the slide, you have the biology is compulsory. You have to choose biology. Then secondly, physics or agriculture. It depends. Okay, it is up to you. And third, chemistry, ICT or business statistics. You can choose anything out of it. But remember, if you want to become a doctor or any courses related to biology and related to that stuff like dental, maybe physiotherapy and all, then biology, physics and chemistry are must. Don't have a misconception like if you choose agriculture and take an A, you get 3 years, you are not going into medicine. Okay, you want for medicine you need biology, physics and chemistry, remember that. But if you feel like, okay, I want to do something in agriculture, or I want to go to anything, no, you can't choose maths instead of physics if you are doing biological stream. Okay, the maths in biology or combined maths, so that goes into engineering field and related stuff, not to the biological stream. Okay, so these are the main subjects. So I'll be talking about biology, physics and chemistry now. So first about biology, you have to remember that biology is not about memorization. It is not completely about memory, but you have to remember stuff. Obviously, you have to remember stuff, but it is not totally memorization. You have to understand the topic first. You have to understand it and then put it in your head, and you can formulate the words when you are doing an essay question or structure question or something. So you have to remember that. So don't just go and memorize. You won't remember anything at the end of your course, end of your the course. So you won't remember. So for that, you have to understand something. So if you don't understand something, what can you do? Now there are numerous videos in the YouTube, right? You can go there and there is like very nice animated videos which explains you really well, like the about even photosynthesis, respiration, even physical theories and so much. There are so many videos you can go from that. The doubts I'll come in the end. Okay, so you have to study from the beginning. So A-level, day 1, hard work from day 1. That doesn't mean you have to study 24 hours. Okay, you should have proper sleep, good, you have to eat properly, good diet and everything should be there. But study every day, study from the beginning. So how can you study biology? Read your theory, read your notes thrice, at least thrice, read thrice, and do questions. Take a set of papers like FWC or Moratoa papers, those papers. Otherwise, you can also take the final papers. I would suggest to do FWC and Moratoa papers for biology. Take all the papers, do from the beginning. Start from today. Now, today you study about carbohydrates, read it thrice, tell it yourself, or teach it somewhere in the board, and then just go take the questions and do it by yourself. It's very interesting to do biology in this way rather than just memorizing. If not, you will be bored, you will be sick of biology. But if you do about how I say, then it will be nice. Then make short notes if it really necessary. Okay, just don't make short notes for everything and waste your time. Okay, make short notes when it is necessary, and then you can do model papers for biology. Okay, do model papers for biology, and I hope you all know there are resource books for biology. That is the limit for you. You don't have to study anything apart from that, and there's no any problem if there is one question out of syllabus, get 99. Okay, there's no any problem, but study your resource book very perfectly. Do a good job in your resource book. Okay, that is about the biology. If you have any doubts, put in the chat. I'll come to that later. Physics, for biology people, for biological science people, sometimes physics is hard. It was very, very, very hard for me. Like, I would, even if I think of physics now, it seems like a poison to me. So physics it was very hard for me. But still, I went through it and I got A for it, and now I am following medical degree. So even if it is hard, practice. Start from today. You study something in mechanics today. Let's say you study about rotational motion. You finish rotational motion today. So these are the units in biology. You can go through it. Okay. And about the physics, I'm talking about physics now. So you have to practice from day one. Okay, you have to practice. If you study rotational motion today, take your past papers, do from at least from 2005 or even 2000, start from 2010. And if you have time, go to 2005, 2000. I did from 2000 because I did examinations in 2021. So I did 20 years papers. But I did at least thrice. Any paper, I did at least thrice. I didn't go for any model papers in physics. I only worked with past papers many times, more than twice, at least more than twice. Okay, so practice. And also, I can give you a very nice tip today. Okay, you have to follow. If you follow this from today until when you go towards the end of the course, you will be really happy to see that. Okay, today take 3 books. Okay, 3 CR books, 2 CR books. Take 2 CR books from 40 pages each. Okay, first one is for laws and conditions. That means you will study different laws. Let's say Newton's laws of motion. You studied in O level. You will have the same thing in A level too. So for the laws, take a book. Put the heading Newton's laws of motion. Write the laws. Write the examples. Write the conditions. Do this in one book. In the other book, in the second book, write all the equation. Put the heading mechanics, motion in a straight line. Okay, and write all the equation. V is equal to U plus AT, V squared equal to U squared plus 2AS, everything. Write down with the condition. Okay, write down with the condition. Follow this for 2 years or maybe 3 years, and then you will have all the equations in one book, all the laws in one book, and that will be totally enough for you. Okay, that is it's a nice thing that one of my seniors told me. So I have passed this to you. You can follow this from day one. Okay, so try to do questions. Sometimes it might be hard for you to do at the first itself, but try twice or thrice the same question. One question MCQ you are doing and you don't get the answer. Yes, just go through the elaboration, understand, and try to do it again. Do it again and again. Okay, that is about physics. And then chemistry. Chemistry is in between both. As far as I know, biology is the very easy one. Physics is hard, a little bit hard for me, but there are people who can easily do it and they can nail the subject and they can take 50 out of 50 MCQs. I have seen people like that who are in medical faculty now. So chemistry is in between. It's interesting, very interesting, but you have to practice. You have to practice practice many times. Then try to work out things. You have to try to work out the things. Now you will have units like calculations and so on. So those units, try to work out. And then when you're doing inorganic chemistry and all, there will be so many things for you to remember. Like the colors of some chemical compounds and so on, you might need to remember. Those times, try to formulate a mnemonic. That is how I did in organic chemistry. Try to formulate a mnemonic and try to remember the colors. So if you are very nice, now there are 4 areas: general, organic, inorganic, and physical. Physical was quite hard for me, but then the other 3 I did it was really good. So I could take an A. even though I couldn't do physical chemistry. So at least finish 85% of the syllabus, be thorough with 85%, you will end up with 75 marks, which will be enough for you. But if you are aiming for Colombo Medical Faculty and so on, put a little more effort. Okay. So that is about the chemistry. So I have told about the chemistry, and now we are towards the end. So as Inam told already, so ICT, agriculture, business statistics, they are other subjects. So I don't know much about that because I didn't choose them. And then misconception. There are misconceptions like, biology stream is all about medicine, but no, you have to know that. And then you have to plan your day. Every day, plan it and do smart work. That's hard work. Be disciplined. If you cut 3 classes and go on for trips, then you are missing so much that you need for your exams. So be disciplined for the next 2 years. Sacrifice. You have to sacrifice many things only for 2 years. And then when you get into uni, it will be a very fruitful life. A level will be a little bit stressing, but then you will go through it. You don't have to worry about that much. If you have any question, you can put in the chat. So about the first question, you can't choose maths instead of physics. That is totally different. Okay. Now next you will have the physical science guidance. You will get to know. Do we have to use any other books other than the bio resource book for biology? No, you don't have to use. But there's a practical handbook. You have to go through it. Okay, practical handbook is there. Can you suggest a channel in YouTube? I really don't know. I didn't do that much. Sharfa, if you can contact me privately, okay, I will suggest you classes. And about the physics syllabus, you can just go through this thing, but there's physics resource books and also teacher's guide and everything, so you can go through that one also. Any suggestion for English medium online classes? I didn't do English medium, I did Tamil medium. You can ask, you can put a text to the Majlis, so they might give you suggestions for English medium online class. Do you have any doubts? Any more doubts? That's all. Okay, then this will be followed by the physical science guide, A-level guidance. It will be done by Amjad Nasim. So over to you.
Okay, so hi everyone. So my name is Amjad, and I'm actually from the University of Sri Javardhan Pradeep. You probably already know. So I'm here to talk to you about the physical science stream, which mainly dives into maths. During maths, probably should be listening to this. So yeah, and so like I said, this is about me. My name is Amjad Nasim. I'm a third year undergraduate at the Department of Mechanical Engineering at the Faculty of Engineering, University of Sri Javardhan. So yeah, to go straight in this, you should, if you're going to do physical science, which is basically maths, you should know why you're doing it is the main thing. So people have this misconception that, if you do maths, you should become an engineer, which is true for, I would say, 75% of the time. Normally people who do maths for their levels, they tend to become engineers, but being an engineer doesn't mean that you would guarantee you would land an engineering job. Like we have so many examples of engineers who are, CEOs and, who actually in the management side as well. So the career path of being an engineer, I would say the biggest advantage of doing maths, it really does broaden your scope, and especially if you choose ICT, which I'll come into in a couple of minutes. It does broaden your scope of what you can do as a career. So, but let's just say you chose maths and you did chemistry, physics, and you could become an engineer. Being an engineer, what it actually proves is that it's not that you are good at maths, it's not that you are good at physics, because even a biology student, as my previous friends told, you would be very good. You could be good an A for physics and still be a doctor. And if you talk about mathematics, there are mathematicians for that. You don't need an engineer to be good in mathematics. But what you show as an engineer is that you're showing your ability in problem solving. Your problem solving skills is what you are actually showing that you are good at when you say that you are an engineer. So it's stuff like that. So your interest, like you should be probably interested to do maths because that's the main subject. But physics is just as important, especially when you come to engineering. there's more physics than maths. When you start engineering, unless you go down the software route, software engineering route, if you choose any other engineering uh, field, it's more physics than maths. It's definitely more physics than maths. There are some fields where they use a bit more maths. There's definitely math, but I'm just saying that physics is much more important. But that said, without maths, you can't do physics. So yeah, there's two sides of the coin for that. Like I said, attitude and skills, you should be good at problem solving. You should be good at thinking on your feet. I would say your memorizing skills is not needed that much when you come to engineering, but it's still very important. And career goals. So if you want to become an engineer, yes, you should do maths. But like I said, there is the room to change your mind when you come. That's the biggest plus point I see in doing this field, which is why I chose it as well. And if you talk about future trends, it's always changing. Now, for example, if you took the pandemic era, the demand for software engineers was very high. And just like that, the demand for civil engineers was rock bottom because they did not have jobs at all in Sri Lanka for a couple of years. But now there is such a surplus of software engineers in the country that it's really, really hard to get proper jobs in Sri Lanka. I'm talking only about Sri Lanka, right? On the other side, civil engineers, because there's so many now new construction, fields and sites opening up, people are developing the country and all this stuff. There are more and more job opportunities opening up for civil engineers. And another reason is because most of the civil engineers who were in the country pre-COVID have already left the country. So now there's a kind of a gap, and a widening gap for civil engineers, which is gradually be filled. But on the other side, like I said, computing engineers, there's too much now with a less amount of jobs. So unless you are looking abroad, it's kind of hard. So future trends, I cannot guarantee you anything, but something I can tell you is, there are always jobs for an engineer if you look like for anywhere, right? If you are good enough, if you have the skills, and if you show that you're capable enough, that won't be a problem. So, and if you take go for a safe bank, like, I don't know, mechanical, electrical engineering, there's always many jobs available for that, and you don't have to, focus on one thing. And like I said before, if jobs is really your issue, there's always abroad. There's always a option of going abroad, because once they say you're an engineer, finding jobs is not the hardest thing in the world. But these are some of the factors that you should consider. But please don't do it for the sake. I know how hard it is when you are a kid. You don't have much say on what you can do, and your parents, what they tell you is what you normally do. But if you really are not interested in this, like if you hate maths, for example, if you hate physics or maths, so both of them, please don't do this. Like, I'm saying it for your own benefit. You'll probably do it for 1.5 years, and then you get fed up, and then you leave it and probably do something else. And you could have actually used that 1.5 years to do that, whatever you want to do later, even better, right? I've had so many friends who actually started maths off because, people just want to be a doctor, like doctor engineer. And some people think that, being a doctor is really hard, but being an engineer is kind of easier. But I can guarantee you it is not easy doing maths, especially ever. So, really think it through, really make sure you want this, because if you do not want to do this, it will be really, really hard to get through this, because you will start to hate the subject, you will start to hate everything. And once you start hating this, getting a good result for this is going to be really hard. So make sure that you think it really well before you start anything, right? So yeah. So like I said before, physical science has mainly these three, but you do have the option of choosing ICT instead of chemistry. So yeah, so architecture. So there is a question that been asked whether you could do interior designing or architecture if you choose a math stream. It's like this. So there's two sides of the coin, obviously. I do not know exactly what subject you would replace, right? But this is for general for everyone, right? There's something called UGC, if you are not familiar, the University Grants Booklet, right? And in that you have all the different kind of combinations that you can try, right? But what it also has is, now let's say you have a career path in your head, right? Then you can go and check the degree that provides for that career path. And in that book, it has all the subjects that are needed or necessary for you to go to that course, right? So let's say you want to do an architecture course, sometimes you may never need chemistry, right? So maybe you can drop chemistry and do something else. And if you are going to do something, I don't know, so like anything, like it's actually valid for every field. Like there's sometimes you could think about software engineering. and stuff like that. Yeah, ICT instead of chemistry, that's a very popular choice, right? People do that a lot. ICT instead of chemistry is something that people do a lot. That said, just say you did maths, chemistry, and physics. That doesn't mean that you can't go and do software engineering, right? Because in government universities, how it works is we have a common year in the first year, and then based on our first year results and all that, how we perform in that, we get our departments, right? So you can definitely do chemistry and go and do a software engineering degree in a government university and even in private campuses for that matter, right? So yeah, I said instead of chemistry, but like I said, take the UGC booklet, check it, see what course you want to do, what career path you want, and AK and check in that like exactly what are the subjects they need, because some of them are like essential or whatever, they're compulsory, right? So you can never be an engineer without doing maths or physics, right? So stuff like that. So I would say I can give you the broad image. For engineering, you need maths and physics definitely, and you can do ICT and also still do engineering, right? There's no problem in that. What is the booklet? The booklet is UGC, so it's downloadable. It's there on the internet. It's the University Grants Commission booklet. It's by our the Education Ministry of our country. So in that you have all the, but this is only for government campuses, by the way. Because for private campuses, you can go and check what they are. Sometimes they're a bit more lenient, sometimes they're a bit more strict. But for government campuses, if you take the UGC booklet, you can actually go and see there are so many degrees. There are so many courses that are available for us. Like we think, like I think my previous friends told, people had this misconception: if you do biology, you can only be a doctor, or if you do maths, you can only be an engineer. It's not like that. It's far from that. There are so many degrees that you can go into. So maybe actually take that booklet and have a read. It could open up fields that you never thought even existed, or can actually find your passion there. So just look into the booklet. It's called the UGC booklet, right? So yeah. So this is what physics is. I'm pretty sure they actually went through this, but just tell that again. So this is syllabus of physics. You have measurements at first, as I remember. Then you have mechanics, oscillations and waves, thermal physics, the fields, current, electricity, electronics, mechanical properties of matter and radiation. So how the paper is structured, if I'm not mistaken, A-level is 50 MCQs, right? 50 or 40 MCQs. And then you have these 6 questions, out of which 4. Yeah, so it's basically you have a choice from the questions. Out of 6, 4. That's how it was for us. I don't know if it's changed. Like you have measurements and mechanics is 1 question, oscillations and waves in 1, thermal in 1, all those fields in 1, electricity and electronics or electronics in 1, and properties of matter or matter and radiation in 1. So that's how the questions are, based. So goes with the syllabus, like, that's also very readily available for you. There's nothing I can actually tell you about that. But physics, what I would say is, if you can get 40 plus for the MCQs, right? That means that you're getting an A for physics. That's what I can say. Because I got a B in my year, and I only got 27 or 25, if I'm not mistaken. Because one reason was our physics paper was really hard. So everyone's results was low. So it was kind of an anomaly. But if you can get maybe 30 plus, that's a B, sure. And I got a B. But if you get 40 if you get 45 above, that's definitely an A, like unless you really go and mess up the second paper. But yeah, what are the chapters we can focus? Like I can't tell you what chapters you should focus on. Each chapter is equally important, but something once you do it, practice, right? I don't think this will help you right now. Probably down the line, if you remember this, it'll be good. But once you do it, practice, you understand you are stronger in this chapter more than this. It's not something I can tell you. It's something you should know once you study. That you maybe are better at fields than thermal physics. You're better at electricity than electronics. So then you should try to focus on the electricity question a lot more, right? Because that will be the part B question where you get a lot more marks, right? But you should know is also MCQs cover every topic, right? But in part B, you have the luxury of choosing those questions, right? So after you study and, but for that also, you should know the entire syllabus, right? You should know the entire syllabus pretty thoroughly, but that's when, you are strong at some chapters other than this. So then you should tend to, focus more on those chapters and to get those 140 out of 150. But that doesn't mean that you should, forget the other subject totally, the chapter totally, right? Because there are still MCQs that could come. So for that, you should be smart and do past papers, right? Do past papers. When you do MCQs, you see a trend. Like they don't ask everything out of the chapter in the MCQ. There is certain stuff that they ask, so you can focus on those and do that. That's kind of tricks you learn once you start doing papers and stuff. So yeah, that's physics. And then if I move on to chemistry, chemistry. So this is the basic syllabus, right? So general chemistry, inorganic chemistry, organic, physical, and industrial, right? Organic chemistry is a huge part of chemistry of this the chemistry syllabus. You have to remember a lot, different types of equations, combinations, and stuff like that. Inorganic chemistry, once again, a lot more memorization. I would say in chemistry, when you're doing physical science, it's the more memorizing type of subject. So people tend to, it's a bit harder for people who do physical science for chemistry, but it's not always like that. So if you take me, my favorite subject was chemistry. It was the one I got the most marks in all the time. So that doesn't mean like just because you do math doesn't mean chemistry should be the hardest subject. For me, physics was the hardest subject. But like I said, you don't get caught into those stereotypes. So if you talk about chemistry, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry is like full memorization. You should know everything. And in organic chemistry, there are different colors and stuff like that. There's a lot to remember actually. Organic chemistry, it's a bit more flexible. Like if you know, but the reactions, what come out of each reaction. Once again, is a lot more memory based. But then you go to physical chemistry. Physical chemistry is actually a lot more calculations, right? Which is why most biology students struggle like that. But physical chemistry is a lot more, thinking on your feet a bit more, and understanding the equations a bit more, and then solving the problem. So that's a bit more, kind of our thing, where it's a lot more problem solving, I would say. And same to do with industrial chemistry, because industrial chemistry, they use real life chemical problems, and that's how they ask the questions, right? So that's basically the chemistry syllabus. But like I said before, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, and physical chemistry, those three are the main. Like there are, I can't exactly remember the format of the paper, but those are how they ask the question. But like I remember, it's 50 MCQs again, and in part B, it was, I guess, you had to choose 2 questions out of 3, and there are 2 parts. Like I cannot exactly remember, so I can't actually tell you. But if you check your past papers, you'll understand what I'm saying. So chemistry, I would say short notes was the key for me, because it's really hard if you don't make short notes to remember these stuff. Like you should, constantly be reminding yourself, checking the short notes, and because once you look at it repeatedly, it kind of stays in your brain. So yeah, I think with chemistry, it's a lot more memorization. And if you understand what chemistry is, and don't hate it at the start, because what a lot of things what a lot students do when they come to do maths is they start to hate chemistry. It's like before they even know the subject, just by hearing people talk, they come like chemistry is bloody hard, but no and all the stuff, and then they come and like nah, they could do it pretty well, but just because of they come with a negative mindset, it becomes hard naturally. So don't be like that. Come with open mind. Sometimes it can be really interesting chemistry actually, because once you're always doing calculations and all this stuff, chemistry opens up a bit more. I don't know, kind of ironic, but color to the whole this thing. So focus on that a bit. Just if you keep on reminding yourself about what are those reactions and the colors and all those stuff. Just to give you some examples, that would be pretty much enough. I would say. So short notes was the key for that. In physical chemistry, also it's. There are a couple of equations that you should remember. Without that, you can't do the calculation. So as you know, they don't give any equation in the exam. So you should always remember all those. Industrial chemistry is a bit more real life. It's more like environmental, I would say, the environmental impact and all those stuff. So yeah, chemistry is like that. It's a really interesting subject. So yeah. I think the makes actually maths. Yeah. So then comes the main subject. It's mathematics, right? So maths, so there's 2 main parts. It's pure maths and applied mathematics. Pure mathematics is mainly focused on like theory-based mathematics, and applied mathematics, it's a bit like a fusion of maths and physics, I would say. It's a bit more real life based, more practical, right? So in pure mathematics, so both you have 2 papers in maths, right? One is the pure maths paper, and one is the applied maths paper, maths 1 and maths 2. And in both papers, the format is the same. You have 10 questions in part A, which are small questions, each worth 25 marks. And then in part B, you have 7 kind of big questions, each worth 150 marks, right? So in this, in pure maths, out of memory, I'm just saying the 7 questions that come for the big questions is you have the quadratic equations and all those stuff. Then you have binomial expansion and permutation. All these will be like, Greek to you right now, but don't worry, some of them are really easy, right? Complex number and matrices, differentiation, integration, trigonometry, and okay, I can't remember what the question before that was. So anyway, but what I think you understood was when I said these lessons, some questions had 2 different topics in it, right? But some had 1. The ones which had 1 was integration, differentiation, and trigonometry. Those 3 are the most important thing in maths, right? Like wherever you go in the future, whatever you do, if you are planning to do maths or some sort of that, you will need those 3: differentiation, integration, and trigonometry. So get fluent on them. At the start, if you do that now, when you're in your A level, it'll be much more easier when you come to university, right? Because you use that nearly every day. Trigonometry, either one of them, trigonometry, differentiation, integration. Like it should be like, it should be natural for you once you see a differentiation problem, what to do, integration problem, what to do, right? So because it's really, really important if you're going to do, if you're going to come to university, I'm not talking only about engineering, but even if you do go to applied science, the faculty, and you do the maths, the physical stream of that, you always need differentiation, integration, trigonometry. So those are really important subjects. I won't say they're complex. They're a bit hard, obviously, which is why it's just one chapter for one whole question. But it's all step by step, right? So always in maths, in everything, it's very stepwise, right? Understand each step. That way, when you do it, when you solve a problem, when if you follow those steps, in the end, you will get the answer. Like it will come nicely once you follow that, order. So don't think too much. In like literally in every problem, it's the same thing. There are steps that you should follow, which if you do, you will, get the answer properly at the end. So that's what I have to say about maths. Actually, like anything, and don't be, it depends on how these, some from where you learn. Some tuition masters, they do some certain chapters first, some chapters later. Then you miss out on those chapters, but some of those chapters could actually be easier. So try to get the syllabus done. That's something general I want to say. Like get the syllabus done as quickly as possible for the subjects that you're doing, so that you can get to papers. Because whatever subject you do in any of these things, especially in the physical stream, all these 3 subjects, practice is key. The more papers you do, the more marks you'll get. I can guarantee you that. Like some people got good grades just by, without even like complete syllabus, they shaping, they got a B or a C just by doing papers. Like once you do papers, the practice, it just gets you ready, right? So that's about pure mathematics. Talk about applied mathematics. Like I say, it's more practical. It's the same format. Once again, you have some off the top of my head, you have a probability and statistics. You have simple harmonic motion, you have circular motion, you have rotational motion, you have relative acceleration, relative velocity and time graphs. So it's a bit like physics actually. So if you do applied mathematics and physics, that's why it's a bit more easy for physical science students. Once they do, for them physics should be easier because applied mathematics is literally physics actually. So it's basically that. So that's why it helps us both ways. So yeah, once you are fluent in applied mathematics, you're most probably fluent in physics as well. So that would be about maths. About ICT, actually, to be honest, personally, I did not do ICT. So I don't have a lot to say about that, but I'll try to tell you what I can. But I think Sarah, who's next, will talk about that a bit. But just overlook on ICT, I can't tell you about what the syllabus is really, but what I learned from that is that's also you need a lot more practice. I would not say it's easier than chemistry, but I remember back in the day when we were in school, like the workload is a bit less. Like I'm not saying there's a huge difference. It's still a very hard subject which you need to focus on a lot. But at the start, it's a bit more easy. So at the start, like for the first 1.5 years, you would feel like chemistry is really hard when compared to ICT, which it is. In the first 1.5 years, it's not that complex. I would say ICT from what I experienced. But once you come to the business end of the of A level, which is the last year and a half, then nearly every subject is hard. So that's what I can say about ICT, but I think in the next session they'll talk much more about it. So yeah, that's probably it about the physical stream. Oh yeah, so these are some of the courses that I, so that you can get an idea. So like I said, engineering, you have your basic stuff, civil, mechanical, computing, all those stuff. Engineering 2, industrial training and textile engineering and stuff. That's what can be done. Quantity surveying, software engineering, computer science. All these stuff, you can do. Like I said, design. Someone asked about designing and architecture, right? If you look in the UGC book, you can definitely see you have to do physical science with that as well. So yeah, and law. Like if you go and see the exams, all you can see the requirements. Or some of the requirements. Maybe maths can help you there. Space science. So when you say space science, I'm pretty sure what you mean is aeronautical engineering and stuff like that. So if you're going to do aeronautical engineering, yes, you need mathematics field. Like you need it. You need maths and physics definitely, and chemistry as well. I'm not sure about chemistry, but maths and physics definitely for the aeronautical engineering, right? So I think that's what you mean by space science. So yeah, you definitely need that. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, guys. So yeah, so scope, like you can be an engineering, mathematician, like any of these if you follow the physical science, right? So hi Zainab, they're asking will a recording will be provided. I'm not exactly sure about that. They'll probably get back to you on whether the recording will be available or not. So yeah, like I said, you can actually move on to the management side as well after doing an engineering degree. I told you guys that, right? So those are the stuff that kind of the advantage of doing physical sciences thing. So like I said, the main thing that you get out of doing this stream is the problem solving skill, this logical reasoning, the analytical thinking. It's like thinking on your feet. That's what you will actually develop when you come to here. Not so much in A level. I would say you would not see that drastic change in A level. But once you get to university, right? And when you do a mathematics-based university degree, you can see, like, you will start to see the difference between you and someone who probably did commerce or arts or biology. Because then your problem-solving skills reaches the next level, peak. So yeah, that's what you actually gain out of this degree, I would say. So yeah, so these are the skills that you get, from development pattern, all those stuff. Basically, Indian is problem solving, logical reasoning, analytical thinking. Once you think about it. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, I'll probably wait. So I think there's no questions. So guys, thank you for participating, right? And something like before I leave, I like to say, don't be intimidated by it ever. Take it one step at a time. Although I know it's hard, try to, revise stuff at least weekly at the start if possible. But make sure to enjoy your school life as well. You only get that once. People may say you have to sacrifice a lot. Yes, you'll have to sacrifice a lot. Like if you're doing biology or maths, you'll have to sacrifice way more than your commerce and arts students. This is by no means saying that degree is easier. I'm just saying that's the kind of sacrifice that you'll have to do. But that doesn't mean that you won't enjoy school life, right? You can still do other stuff. You can still do sports, as long as you know how to balance it. As long as you know your priorities and know how to say no when someone comes and you can't be going every day out for a party or something like that, right? Or every day out for practices. So you have to properly prioritize all those stuff. And if you do that, you can get through a level with no problem, right? And so yeah, I really hope that you guys do your best. And if you guys do end up choosing the physical stream, good luck. It's a really interesting stream, to be honest. It does open up, like I said, your options a lot. And as like I said, always practice. If you do that, the physical science stream would be a piece of cake for you guys. So always keep on practicing, do papers and questions and stuff that you give, model papers and all those stuff, and you guys will be fine. So yeah, good luck, guys, and hopefully maybe see you in universities as soon as possible. Bye. Take care. Yeah. So next up we have Mariam Arif. She'll be talking to you guys about the arts.
Thank you. And good evening, everyone. So hope all of you have got a good knowledge of biological science and physical science. So now let's dive into art stream. So I'm Mariam Arif, following BA in English Language and Literature in Srujavattanapuram University. So yeah, let's dive into, the art stream. So first of all, congratulations for completing your O levels. This is one of the what you say, like one of your public examinations that we have in Sri Lanka. So first of all, congratulations on that. And now you all are stepping into a great path, one of your biggest milestone in our life that we have, the advanced level. So nowadays you are like, you will have so many confusion whether to choose this path or that path, math, science, commerce, arts, like juggling all the streams. So that's why we are here to navigate you and guide you and tackle your confusions and everything. So yeah. Okay, what's next? Yes. So the minimum requirements from O level, if you have to select study any stream, you at least need 3 C's and a 3 S, and you shouldn't have a W for maths. And this is according to the curricula that was given in 2008. So, and the same goes for all streams. Okay, it's not going to be you're limited for 1 or 2 streams. It's for everything. But I think, but for biological science and physical science, like according to some schools, the requirements differ. And the minimum requirements from A level is S pass in all 3 subjects and 30% in general knowledge. Okay. Yeah. So the very important one that we all have to, take noted of is SWOT analysis. Like you might say, like, why am I having this chart here? Because whenever you're going to decide your life, right? You're going to decide your future career, your goal. So before deciding a big factor in your life, just, take time, take time, and jot down this strength, your weakness, your opportunities, and your threats. So what are your strengths? You are like, everyone is individual from one another, right? You might have some specific strength, which one of your friends might not have. You might have some weakness, which your another friend would not have. So this what is different from one another, so what I would suggest is take a blank paper, take a blank paper and divide that into four groups, 4 columns, and write down your strength, your weakness, your opportunities, and your threats. So by doing this, you will get an idea of, what to do. Okay, this is what I have to do with my life. This is what I think I am interested in. This is what I can, I can further develop in my life. It's all about your personal interest, guys, because, like, this is not unlike A level is totally different, unlike O levels and scholarship. That was a kind of, parental exams. But this is not obvious. It's not like that. This is our exam, the exams which are going to decide our future career. So better divide your paper and jot down your strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, and decide your stream. So these are some of the misconceptions that we have in our society, right? If you don't I know you haven't got your results yet, but I think and I pray that you will all take good results. But still, there are some misconceptions that, if one student doesn't have 9 A's, he can't study, go further with A levels, he's not qualified to study any of the streams or something like that. No, it's not like that. It is better, and it will be good if you take 9 A's. If you don't take 9 A's, if it's like, some a good best result, 7 or 8 A's or something, like even like 2 or 3 or 4 A's, whatever the results is, you can study. Your O-level results doesn't decide your A-level. It doesn't decide, or it doesn't guarantee your future career. Okay. But with the dedication, the hard work, and the perseverance, and the commitment that you're going to make within these 2 years of life, that is something that's going to decide your future career, not the O-level results. Okay. So better understand it. Yeah. So before choosing subjects, in A-levels art stream, high Z score, you should select the subjects according to the Z-score also. That's also one of the important, point, because here we are in art stream, you have multiple subjects. You have like ocean of subjects, like you can like subjects from, there are 1, 2, 3 subjects from math stream, some subjects from commerce stream, like it's like an amalgamation of everything. So better to, better to research on the subjects and think and ask someone like what the the Z-score, like how the Z-score is being calculated and what are the subjects that carries the highest Z-score and everything. And another one is your interest. You should choose your subjects according to your interest, not according to your, the external factors, like as the teacher is asking you to go with these subjects, you are not going to do that. Okay. As your friend is choosing that subjects, you can't choose that one also, because you're going to study the subject for the rest of your 2 years. Okay. So your interest, your dedication is very much important. So you should select your subjects according to your interest, not according to the external factors. Okay. Yeah. So there is a particular criteria for the selection of subjects in art stream. So we have 4 main areas that comes under art stream, like social subjects, social studies, religious and civilization subjects, aesthetic subjects, and language subjects. And we'll see what are the subjects that comes under these 4 categories. So, selecting at least one subject from social studies, from social subject is advisable, because, like most of the university courses require at least 1 or 2 subjects from social studies, and it carries, like a good Z-score also, these subjects. So it's better to take at least one subject from this area. And also, if you want to take all the 3 subjects from social studies, then no problem. You can go ahead with that. Okay. So yeah, let's see what are the subjects that come under this area. So yeah, these are the subjects that come under social studies. Okay. Economics, geography, history, home economics, mathematics, combined mathematics, information, ICT, accounting, political science, and also some there are subjects from technological subjects also. As I already mentioned, it's an amalgamation of everything. See, you have technological subjects, mathematics is there, accounts is there, history is there, everything is here. Okay. So it's better and it is advisable to take at least one subject from social subjects. So the next area is religious or civilization subjects. So here you have 4 religious kind of subjects: Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Greek Roman civilization. And also you have civilization subjects: Buddhist civilization, Christian civilization, Hindu civilization, Greek Roman civilization, and also you have like Islam and Islamic civilization also, which is left here. Sorry for that. So the notable and highlighted thing is, if you're going to select one subject from this category, then a student can't select both the civilization and the religious subjects. Like for example, let's say you can't select both Buddhism and Buddhism civilization. It won't go hand in hand. Either Buddhism or Buddhist civilization. Okay, you can select your religious subject or else the civilization subject. This is how it works. So the next one is aesthetic subject. You have art, dancing, music, drama, and theater. Okay, so here these subjects you can select 1 or 2 subjects from this area. And comes the language subjects. So the language subjects further divides into 3 parts. Yeah, so here the language subjects further divides into 3 parts. Okay, national languages, classical languages, foreign languages. So in national languages, as you know, the Sri Lankan, we have 3 national languages: Sinhala, Tamil, English. Classical languages: Arabic, Pali, and Sanskrit. And foreign languages, there are like Chinese, Malay, French, Russian, Hindi, and Japanese. So students can choose 1 or 2 language subjects from the above list. Okay. So yeah. So now let me take you through the UGC handbook. So I think you all are aware of the UGC handbook. Okay. It's very important to go through the UGC book, before you select your subjects. So yeah, here are the list of the subjects. So these are some of the, universities that we have for our stream, or the art stream. Yeah. Okay. So as I already, taken you through the subject social sciences. So yeah, these are the, criteria. So when you take the national languages, okay, which are Sinhala, Tamil, and English, you can select, you can select the national languages. But if you are like, let's say you are going to select all these three languages as your main three subjects. If you are doing this, you no need to select any subject from the basket one. Basket one means the social subjects. And also selecting a combination of national and classical languages. Also, you don't need to select any subjects from social science. This is only if you are selecting, your three subjects as national languages or a combination of national and classical languages. Okay, so here these are the national and classical languages. And another one thing is another important thing to be noted of is no candidate can select three classical languages as their three subjects. Okay, let's say you want to select Arabic and Sanskrit and Pali. You can't select three subjects, these three languages as your main three subjects. What you can do is you can either select two or one out of it. Either you can select Arabic or Pali or Sanskrit. You can't select all these three languages. Only it is the three, where you can select all the three languages is only available for the national languages. Okay. And also, students selecting two languages from the basket four. Basket 4 is the religious subject, and the basket 4 is the aesthetic, and the third subject from religion, civilization, or aesthetic can need not to select any subject from basket 1. If you are selecting, let's say, if you are selecting, Arabic and English and dance, you don't need to select any subjects from the social science. But guys, it is advisable to go through, to select at least one subject from social science. Okay. Yeah. Two subjects here. So this is the third basket, which is the aesthetic studies. You have art, dancing, music, drama, and theater. Dancing comes like Sinhala and Bharata, music, Oriental, Carnatic, Western, and drama and theater. Yeah. So here also, no student is allowed to select the two subjects from one subject area. Like, let's say you want to select drama and theater from both Tamil and English, you can't do that. Either you can select Tamil or English, only one. Okay, you can't select two from here also. So yeah, and also students, this is the fourth subject, the fourth basket, which is the languages. Here also you have, as we already seen, the national languages, classical languages, foreign languages. Here students are allowed to select a maximum of two subjects from this basket. Like for an example, when selecting the three subjects, students can select Chinese and French from basket 4 and the other subject from another basket. You can select it either from aesthetic or religious subjects or the social science subjects. Okay. So yeah, here student can select, as I already said, a student can select three national languages. He can select at least one from one national languages and two subjects from classical languages. And most candidate is allowed to offer three classical languages or three foreign languages. If you want to do your A-level art stream, like languages subjects, then you can select the three national languages, but you can't select all three classical or foreign languages. You can only select two or one from that category. Okay. So yeah. So, but there are some other courses that offer, that require some specific, requirements. So these are some of the, courses that require specific necessities. Like, let's see, what are they? Here, the BA Special Degree in Performing Arts in Mass Media in Sripari campus of the University of Colombo. They are asking at least an ordinary pass in English at GCE O level. And also, like if you're taking art stream subjects, there shouldn't be more than 2 languages, not more than 1 subject from religion, civilization basket, not more than 1 technological subject, and not more than 1 of the following subjects: accounts, business, statistics, and economics. Okay. And they have the aptitude test, and then you have to go through, and then if you're selected, and you will be enrolled to the university. So the next one is Sabragama University, which the degree is Bachelor of Arts Honors, the 4 years degree, and also, a general degree with 3 years. So here they have, these are the list of subjects that they offer in Sabragama University. Based on your first year GPA, you will be divided into subjects which you can, specialize in. Okay. And the next one is the communication studies offered by the Trincomalee campus at the University of Sri Lanka, BA Communication, BA Languages. For this, one of the 3 subjects must have a credit pass in Sinhala, Tamil, or English. For this, if you want to enroll in communication or language studies, at least you should have, you should have taken one of the national languages, and you should have a credit pass in that. And also a credit pass in GCE level English language also. Like that, peace and conflict resolution degree offered by the University of Kelaniya, Islamic studies offered by Southeastern University of Sri Lanka. For this, you have to take Islam or Islamic civilization. You should have taken it. Okay. And for this one, TESOL, which is in University of Sri Jayawardhanapura and University of Kelaniya. For this, you should have taken English literature. I mean, the subject of English, one of the national languages, English, in your advanced level, and you should have possessed minimum S grade for this subject. Okay. Yeah, these are all. And apart from, the selected, courses that comes with an art stream, you can also apply for the other courses which come under, other faculties like law, architecture, design, management studies, quantity surveying, IT, here ICT, entrepreneurship management, MIT, landscape architecture, geographical information science, GIS, which is a very valid course nowadays. Is like it requires you to take, if you want to get into GIS, which is only available in, I think, Peradeniya University, which requires a very good high Z score, like 1.8 or 1.9, like that Z score, because it's so valuable course, guys. Because nowadays, like the Google Map, we are using Google Map and traveling here and there. So geographical information science is one of the, it's a BSc degree, and it's a valid degree which is offered by Peradeniya University, 4 years degree, and you have ample of job opportunities there. For this, you should have taken geography as a subject in your A-levels. Okay. Yeah, these are all the requirements that we need to get into universities under art stream. Okay. Hope you have got a clear idea with this. Okay. As we have already seen, the language studies. So these are some of the state universities that are offering art stream, the Faculty of Arts in Colombo, Kelaniya, Jayapura, Rohunu, Peradeniya, Jaffna, Eastern University, Southeastern University of Sri Lanka, and Rajarata University of Sri Lanka. And apart from this, also there are many other universities like, Sabragama, Jaffna, Sabragama, and other universities which are offering some courses for the art stream students also. Okay, so now, guys, that's all. Like, if you have any questions, this is a time for your Q&A session. So if you have any questions or any doubts, you can put it in your chat box. Received a message. So I'm interested in English literature, English, the other subject I can select other than social subjects. Okay. I have received a message that tell which subjects have a high Z score. Okay, the thing is, there is, they don't have a particular subjects, the limit, like list of subjects that this subject has the high Z score, this subject has low Z-score, nothing like that. The thing is, guys, the Z-score is calculated according to the number of students that are sitting for the A-level exams and the highest marks that has scored in the particular subject. So Z-score system, it differs from each year, from one year to year. So we can't, particularly tell that this subject have high Z-score and this doesn't. But generally, social subjects, as I already mentioned through, but like, these are the subjects. Wait, okay, here. These are the subjects. Social studies, social subjects and language subjects have a good Z-score, like as I said, like geography, history, ICT, logic, political science, media. These subjects have like a good Z-score. And also language subjects also have a very good Z-score, like English, other national languages, French, foreign languages and everything. So yeah, it's like we can't say these subjects have, possess a good Z-score and this doesn't. It differs from year to year. Okay, English and what is the other subject and select other than social subjects. Okay, like if let's say like I've received a message that you're interested in pursuing English as a subject. So now you have taken a subject from your language basket. So you can choose, other two, mathematics or something like that. So if you have selected one subject from the language basket, you can go with the aesthetic or the religious basket or the social science. If you are interested in Islamic civilization, you can go with that. Other thing is like civilization subjects also have a good Z-score. Like more than the religious subjects, it also have a good Z-score. But comparingly between religious subjects and civilization subjects, we have a good Z-score for civilization subjects. So you can, like let's say you have chosen a language and religious subjects and one subject from social studies, which is a quite a good combination. Okay. Hope you all are clear. Yeah, I'm open for your questions, guys. So if you have any doubts or any clarification that need to be clarified before, wrapping up with the session, I can, clarify your doubts in it. Okay, yeah. You can do your A-levels privately also, and there are two ways to do your A-levels, like the conventional system, the proper system of how the students usually do is the school system, like studying in the school for 2 years and going through the, the public system, the school system. And also if you want to skip, you can skip your school and go through the private or not. So you can apply privately also. Depending on your circumstances, you can do either way. No problem in that. No, if you know, it won't affect your, your availability to go to university, your ability to go to university. If you do it privately, no problem. You can still get into university. I don't think so. If I'm not mistaken, it won't affect your enrollment to the state universities. Okay. So, yeah. So thank you very much, guys, for being here and cooperating with me and hearing out and for your questions and clarifications. Thank you very much. Hope you take a good decision and, all the very best for your future endeavors. Hope you can meet. Thank you. I leave the floor over to Sarah.
Assalamu alaikum. Can everyone hear me? All right. So my name is Sarah Mulaffa, and I'll give you a little bit of introduction about myself, and then we can move into the session. Right? I'll be mainly doing commerce stream for English medium students. My name is Sarah Mulaffa. I studied in 2 schools, Ilma International and Muslim Ladies College. And right now I am doing my first year degree, Bachelor of Computing Honors in Information Systems at Sri Jayawardhanapura University, State University, first year, right? And I'm also doing a creative degree in UK Falmouth University. That's also first year. So I'll be giving you like a basic idea about commerce, and we'll be having like sort of like a informal session. So just make sure that you guys clear all of your doubts related to the stream, related to how you have to tackle A levels, what sort of expectations do you have to head into with A levels, and like with commerce stream, what are you supposed to do in the commerce stream? What are the opportunities you get after doing the commerce stream, and all of that, right? So just feel free to ask me anything. Now, I'm going to start. So now the basic idea that people have when it comes to the commerce stream of any medium is that the commerce stream is for people who like numbers, the ones who like to do accounting, the ones who like sort of like to memorize things for business studies and all of that. If I remember correctly, if you have done business studies for O levels, accounting in that book, that accounting section, those chapters were like the least favorite. Everyone loved the first few chapters, like the first starting chapters. What is a business organization? Memorizing that definition, all of that. That was so fun. But like the accounting section comes up in the syllabus, and then all of us just sort of like don't like it at all, right? So it's very normal to think that the A level commerce is also, it's very similar to that, but it's actually not for people who like just numbers. It's not for people who just like numbers. It's for everyone, right? It's for people who sort of want to give things a fresh start. Let's say that your family has been doing science for a really long time. Your family sort of has expectations on you to do science, but you sort of have a feeling that you might like to do commerce better. It's for a person like that. It's also for a person who likes to do sports and feels like, what, I can manage my studies and sports at the same time, and I'll be also good at both of them, right? It's for those who like to have one foot in studies and the other foot in sports or extracurriculars, right? But commerce isn't easy as well. It's the same as any other stream. That doesn't mean like it's going to be hard as well. It's just all of the streams, A level in general, requires so much hard work. I'm pretty sure for O level you had 9 subjects, and then you feel like, oh my god, this is so much. Oh my god, I can't study history, I can't study science, I can't study religion, I can't study Sinhala or Tamil. All of this is too much for me. What I'm telling you is that while O level feels like that, A level is going to be just 3 subjects, but the content is going to be a lot, right? Which means that you have 3 subjects with a lot of content, which is not going to be easy. So you have to work hard, but at the same time, you can also be, you can take a chill pill and sort of take it at your own pace and sort of do it. But it requires work. That's the basic essence. A level, regardless of commerce, arts, or anything, you have to work. And I think it's better if you can prepare yourself now itself for when you start your school in June, right? You have to always make sure that you're at a top game, because let's say that you go ahead and then you choose commerce and then you don't get uh good grades in the first term. It's sort of like it's very demotivating, because you're very new to the A level life, and like it's very new. Like if you're going to a new school, you're sort of like, will I be making friends here? It's so difficult. Like the teachers are so new and the environment is so new, right? If you're at your old school, that's fine. But at the same time, it's still all very new, because you've just finished O levels. You're just 16, 17 years old. You're at a new phase in life, right? But you have to make sure that you don't lose yourself. You don't take it too easy. Like, you just don't think of yourself like, oh, I just finished O levels, I can take it easy, I can do whatever I want. No, you have to make sure you're at your top game. You have to start working now itself, right? And then once you have that mindset of like, okay, I'm going into A levels and I'm going to be making sure that I'm at my top game, I'm going to try all of these extracurriculars or sports, and I'm still going to be like, following a consistent habit of like studying and like, making myself happy and like all of that. You have to also ask yourself the question, who do you want to be before selecting the commerce stream? Because there's no point in selecting commerce just because you feel like it'll be helpful for you to go into extracurricular. That's the wrong sort of decision for you to make. And it's also the wrong sort of decision to make if someone else is forcing you to do commerce, because it's not, if it's not something that you want to do, then it's going to get very difficult for you. I would suggest all of you to sort of sit down and think, who do you want to be, where do you want to go, like what sort of life do you imagine for yourself in like 20 years, in 30 years, right? What is your first step? Where do you start? Do you start at A level and then do you shift to commerce, or do you go with commerce and then you make sure you win everything, all of the challenges that come with the commerce stream, right? So make sure you take your time and answer that general question, because it matters who you want to be, your ambition, it all of that matters in your journey to, becoming the next person in your family who sort of brings a lot of joy, peace, happiness, right? Don't choose a stream just because it's what you're forced to do, or if it's something that you want because you want to achieve something else. Choose it because you feel like it will help you become the person you want to be, right? That main question. Next, you guys will be wondering you guys will be wondering about what, like, she's talking so much about the commerce stream. What is the commerce stream, right? The commerce stream is basically a combination of subjects that, like, help you become someone who has theoretical knowledges and skills that are needed to be present in this world, in this very rapidly changing world, right? All of the subjects that the commerce stream has to offer, it offers you real life knowledge, it offers you so much skills that you feel like will be useful for you when you finish your A levels and you come out, right? But essentially it offers three main subjects: and general information technology, and common general test, and general English, which I'm pretty sure all of the other seniors have already elaborated for you, right? If they haven't, general information technologies, in short form, you call that as JIT. It's sort of like an exam that I don't think they might continue for you, but sort of like an exam to make sure that everyone in Sri Lanka is sort of it, everyone is sort of, everyone is knowledged, everyone has awareness on how to use computers, on how to use Microsoft, all of that, right? It's something that is implemented by the ministry and all of that. Common general test, now that is very important. I'm pretty sure all of, like, the seniors would have already told you, you have to make sure you get above the pass marks for you to get selected into university, right? And general English, it's better if you can get a really good grade, because your A level results will obviously go on your CV. And if you don't have, if you don't have a really appealing or, like, very interesting grade for general English, it's sort of going to be a negative impact in your, in your interview, in your job application, right? Because as you all know, now the world is shifting towards more like a technological side in all of the industries. And if you find it difficult to converse in English, it's sort of going to be, uh, it's going to be sort of like a obstacle for you. So it's better if you start with A level, because it's very easy. It's better if you can start with, like, taking general English, also something that you have to focus on, right? But other than these three main subjects, JIT, CGT, and general English, there are some schools also offer extra subjects sometimes, but it's not applicable for all schools, because there are differences in distribution of resources and facilities between each school. So in general, these are the subjects you get. And if there are other subjects, you will most probably be able to, like, see it in the school applications and all of that. I'm not sure if they're out, but you'll be able to see and sort of this, right? So now for the commerce main subjects, usually accounting is very compulsory for commerce. I'm very sorry, but accounting is very compulsory, because that's, like, sort of like the spine uh, will not like, because accounts is something that you can tackle very easily. It's just a matter of you being able to, like, sort of understand it from embrace the if you don't like accounting, I would sort of recommend you to, like, sort of, like, embrace a passion for learning, because when you feel like, good, I get to learn this next, you sort of, like, get interested towards that subject and you sort of do it. Then other than accounting, you have business studies, or I'm so sorry. Other than business studies, you also have uh, other than accounting, you also have business studies. And then other than those subjects, some schools give you, like, a huge list, like um around 8. Usually you get around 8, but in certain schools, because of the fact that they don't have facilities or teachers or resources, they narrow it down to just simple just narrow it down to just simple subjects. So in my experience, we had business studies, accounting, econ, OIT, and then we had to select between econ or IT. So in most schools, it's most probably like that. But in some schools, you get to do business studies, accounting, combined math, business studies, accounting, political science, history, English. One of those subjects that generally fall under the arts section, but it's not really for the arts, it's also for the commerce as well. You get to sort of learn everything together, right? um but I would, if you're looking for suggestions to make for your subjects, as you all know, this is very accounting is compulsory. Business studies is very recommended. If it's a selection of business studies, is very recommended to take because it's one of the most easiest subjects for you to score marks. It's just a matter of you making sure you know what is in this thing, and the chapters are also very small, so you just have to make sure you know the content. And for commerce, it's very easy because we have the teacher's guide as well. It's basically the A level exam comes from the teacher's guide itself. Most very very much 80% of the paper comes from the teacher's guide itself, grade 12 and 13. So it's just a matter of you going through those two textbooks and seeing and doing past papers, and then you can nail the exam, right? So business studies is very recommended. But other than that, I personally did IT, and which is why even though I'm in the commerce section, I'm following information system. And as you know, the state university degree programs also expanding themselves into the IT section, where now the physical science stream has AI and all of that, right? So the commerce stream is also expanding into the IT sections. In the future, when you all finish your A levels, there will be so much IT degrees, econ degrees available in the state universities. So make sure that you go through the UGC handbook and make a wise decision and choose the third subject to be something that will be very useful and will be very interesting for you to learn, right? So far until now, do any of you have any questions to ask from me? Yeah, since there are no questions, I'll move on. I'll sort of tell you guys what to do in the commerce stream. Right now, in the commerce stream, other than the subjects, you mainly have to tackle your exams. It's not as stressful as the science stream exams, obviously, very obviously, and it's not as heavy as the art streams because the art streams have a lot of content. But at the same time, it's very important that you do your work for the commerce stream because it matters what you do in your term test, it matters what you do in your unit test, right? And how you deal with it. It's all of this become your learning habits for the ultimate goal, which is A level exam. Let's say that you don't prepare yourself for the first term properly, you will be unable to sort of look at your mistakes and correct yourself in the second term, and then you will be unable to do that in the third term, and so on. So by the time you come for your A level exams, it's going to be very difficult for you to sort of have a learning habit, and it's going to be very difficult for you to know what sort of content is there in the syllabus, right? So for the exams, make sure that you use these term tests, use these unit tests as checkpoints to see how far in the syllabus you are. Personally, you're supposed to do a lot of self studies on your own. Once you come home from school, you're supposed to sit down and sort of go through this thing, take short notes, get together with your friends and discuss a chapter, reread the chapter, do your homeworks on time, all of that, right? So when the term test comes, you'll be able to identify where you haven't studied properly, where you like the most, where you hate the most, and sort of correct those mistakes in the second term. And if you see the same thing happening in the second term, you can do that in your third term. And so by the time you come to your A levels, you'll be fully and properly knowledge on what the A level syllabus has, and you'll be very efficient in answering papers because you've been able to identify your own mistakes, correct it, and then sort of prepare yourself for the final test, right? So I would suggest you, like I mentioned, take short notes as much as you can. Collect a lot of tutes, get in touch with seniors who went to private classes, get their tutes, and most probably there will be business studies classes available on YouTube as well, which I recommend so much because in the last minute, if you missed out on a few lectures at school, you'll be able to sort of get sort of learn that in YouTube as well. And given the fact that Sri Lankans are really good at education, you can actually learn a lot in YouTube. So if you miss out on anything and if you feel like you don't have access to physical private tuition classes, feel free to use that option because it will help you a lot, right? Then make sure you do a lot of past papers from the first term itself. You will sort of know when you're supposed to start your work, so you just start doing your past papers from the beginning, and then you'll be able to sort of deal with the first term test on your own and see this is where I'm supposed to work hard, this is where I'm sort of losing marks, so I need to see how I should answer that. Commerce exams have a particular structure to answering the question, so you can ask your seniors, ask your friends, ask your teachers, sort of form your learning habit in the first term, second term, third term, grade 30 first term, second term, third term, right? And by the time you come for your A level, you'll be like, I'm ready. I got this. You're obviously going to be scared, but you're going to be like, I'm ready for this. Like, I know what has been in this, and I've been doing the work. I've been doing the work, like, even from day one, I've been doing the work. It hasn't, become a stress for me, like, all of that. So, that is sort of how you can deal with the commerce stream exams. And once you finish the exams, there is a different kind of relief. So, all you have to do is make sure that you survive until your A level exams, and throughout your A level exams as well. And then once you get past that obstacle, you'll be really fine until university starts again, until you have free time, and you can use that free time to sort of take your rest that you need, because those few months, it's sort of for you. Those few months are for you, so make sure you use that as your source of motivation, and don't lose time in these few years, these few days as well, because your school's starting very soon. Make sure that you take time, think well, and make a proper decision with all of the information you've gathered from this one beautiful session as well, right? But other than that, if you're wondering how you're supposed to be eligible for the A level stream, you basically have to have 6 passes for the main subject, which is you need to have S passes for Sinhala or Tamil, mathematics, history, religion, science, and there's one more subject that I can't remember, but like you need to have 6 S passes, and you need to have C passes in business studies and mathematics. Only if you have those, you'll be able to get into the commerce stream. Once you finish your A levels, only then you will be able to know your state university eligibility. So make sure that you go through all of that and go through that handbook that the seniors have been recommending you to go through. And if you don't want to, you're sort of supposed to buy it from bookshops, or you can download it online by paying. If you don't want to do that, ask one of, if you have friends who have senior sisters, or if you have contacts from your school who are seniors, ask them, because they have to have a UGC book, because when you're applying for university, it's one of the most useful books that you can have. So just go through that book and make sure that you take very wise decisions. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I had to cover. Any questions up to now? Okay, I have one. With accounting, is it possible to choose other subjects from other streams? So yeah, like I mentioned, it actually depends from school to school as well. Certain schools have the resources, have the teachers, have the classrooms, have the facilities to give you those other subjects. So other than business and IT, some schools will be able to give you accounting, combined math, and political science. Some schools will be able to give you accounting, history, and Greek. It depends on sort of the resources and the facilities that school will have. So when you're applying for A level, they'll most probably have it mentioned in the applications as well. Like for commerce stream, these are the subjects that we offer. For science stream, these are the subjects we offer. For art stream, these are the subjects we offer. But it is possible that you get into a school that has those subjects. Sometimes if you if that particular school that you're applying to doesn't have that, then it's very unfortunate, but you sort of have to accept it and do with what you are given, right? Maybe there's a reason why you were not given those choices. Maybe you are meant to do this, and this is sort of what you have in your path. So that's a good question. Anyone else has any questions that I can answer? can we do commerce for A levels if we haven't done commerce for O levels? It is very rare. I don't think that is possible because you need to have C pass in business studies. Business studies is commerce in O levels, right? So I think it's very difficult for you to be able to do commerce for A levels if you haven't done commerce for O levels. I think you can do IT for A levels if you haven't done IT for O levels. That's not an issue, but for you to be selected into the commerce stream for A levels, you need to do commerce for O levels. Okay, what are the universities we can get into by doing commerce? So you have degrees in University of Colombo, you have degrees in University of Sri Jayawardenepura, Rajarata, Sabaragamuwa, uh, Wayamba, all of these universities offer these things. So one thing that I will recommend you is like the commerce stream has a lot of degree programs available throughout all of the state universities like Ruhona, all of them, right? Management or like administration or like anything related to commerce degree programs are plenty. There are so many, or like if you apply to one university you'll definitely get into like at least one degree program offered by that university if you are if you have that particular Z score that is needed for that degree. So how it works is that once you finish your A level, once you get your A level results and your Z score, all of the UGC will release cutoff marks, right? Those cutoff marks are sort of they will give you the university, the degree program, and then they will mention the cutoff marks. Now you have to compare your Z score and the cutoff marks and see if you can apply for that particular degree or not related to that particular university. Based on that only you'll be able to get into that university. But keep this advice in mind. There are certain instances where Z scores will be really high in universities that you want to get into. Let's say that you want to do management in University of Colombo. The cutoff marks is 2.02 or something. But your Z score is 1.1 or something. You shouldn't get discouraged and not apply to the management Colombo university degree. You should make sure that you apply for that because there are cases where like certain times students don't go into universities or there are vacancies, all of that. So just because your Z score comes out less, or if you feel like your A level grades are not enough, don't worry about it. Just apply for all of the degrees that you want to do, that commerce offers, that your family sort of feels like it's good for you, or if you feel like this is what is good for me, apply for all of those when you're applying for university after your A levels. By the will of God, inshallah, you'll be able to get into one of the best degrees, one of the degrees that is written for you, one of the degrees that Allah knows that you'll be able to sort of excel in, right? Any other questions? Will I be able to do political science, English language, and accounting if my school has a facility? Yes, you will be able to. If the school has that facility, you can do it. And one more thing, I think all of you are sort of interested in sort of doing diverse subjects. If you can talk to your school administration, if the applications of your schools mention that they are only doing these 3 subjects, you can talk to your administration and sort of have a discussion with them and see what is the possibility for them to arrange for you these subjects that you want to do. Get their input and see if you can do those subjects. One of my friends from my batch, she wanted to do accounting, business studies. She didn't want to do business studies, so she did accounting, econ, and IT. But business studies was one of the compulsory subjects that we had. So for us, main subjects were accounting, business studies, econ, or IT. She didn't want to do business studies. She wanted to do IT, econ, and accounting. So she went to the administration, she went to the principal, she spoke to them, and she got that sorted. So that possibility is also there. So don't lose hope, but make sure that if you feel like you are interested in that, just make sure that you go and talk to them. Sorry, just make sure that you go and talk to your school and see if that is possible. Any other questions? Okay, if there are no other questions, I think we can. I think the Majlis can take over.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah Manapar, for detailing the details about the common stream. So now that comes our ending of the session. So yeah, that wraps up our session for the day. So hope you all have got a clear understanding of the stream selection, the subject choices, and everything. So yeah, and we'd like to thank all our participants for joining this webinar, and we hope that it was a productive one. So more educational webinars and motivational programs will be scheduled in future, which will help you and support you in various ways. So you can access those links in our YouTube channel if you missed any of our, previous webinars. We have conducted many webinars, related to subjects, and we have done a bit of career guidance also. So yeah, please feel free to contact us, and if you want to leave any suggestions or comments based on the sessions, and stay connected with us for further updates. So once again, thank you and keep working hard to achieve your goals. So we, the Muslim Majlis of University of Sri Jayawardhanapura, wholeheartedly wish you all the very best. So stay safe and have a fabulous week ahead. Thank you so much for being with us.